I believe that testing 4-year-olds is too young. When children enter reception, they are very young, and we have such a spread of ability, experiences. Some of our children are 5, some of them are just 4. So you can't actually get a clear picture of each child and where they are at that moment. We should use our teachers' expertise to know the children, to know what they can do. Work with parents, because parents know their children better than we do, to know what they can do, where they need to go, what their next steps of learning are. I think testing is just adding a layer that's not necessary to the children's age.
This is the opposite end of my sort of spectrum of experience, because I'm a secondary school teacher. I do think it's important to ascertain at 4 what a child's ability levels are, so that you're not pitching way above or below their heads. But I would think seriously about how you test them, because any test that is marketed as being an academic challenge is likely to cause stress and pressure, and at 4 that can potentially have a very damaging effect. So yes, I think you need to know where they're at, but you need to think carefully about how you're going to measure that.
Do I think 4's too young to test? Well, as a parent of a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, I'd be a little bit concerned. I think if pressure of testing was getting to them. I've got an 11-year-old daughter who's just about to do SATs, and she's very anxious at the moment. So I think, would I want that filtered down to their age? Probably not. However, I always want to. My middle boy is in reception at the moment, and I'm really conscious that I want him to progress and do well. So I think on balance, probably no.
Unqualified teachers is a really interesting question, because per se, no, I wouldn't say we should worry, because there are some fantastic people out there who could really teach students a thing or two. Whether we should leave them unqualified, that's another matter. I think there's a lot to be learned from a teaching qualification from a pedagogical angle. And I think if we teach people who are good natural communicators to teach better by giving them a qualification, I think that's really, really necessary. That's a much underrated part. And actually, if the reason we're introducing unqualified teachers into the profession is to save a bit of money, then I would disagree with that completely. I think everybody who's in the teaching qualification should be aiming to make the best of themselves that they possibly can. Therefore, teaching qualification should be there.
I think that anybody that's working in education has a responsibility to look for the signs of radicalisation in the classroom. It's not just the teachers, it's everybody in the school. There's a whole wealth of other staff that are working with those young people and children, and they can spot the signs.
I think it's even more than that. I don't even think it's in the classroom. I think it's playtimes, arriving in school, lunch breaks, and then you could even extend that to the wider community. I think it's everybody's responsibility as citizens of anywhere to look for signs of radicalisation in anyone.
Absolutely, I do. In my role as assistant head teacher for welfare and safeguarding, radicalisation is really high on our agenda at the moment. And I think if you're working in the classroom or in a school in any capacity, then you need to have an understanding of what to look for, where to signpost young people to if there's a risk of them perhaps being exploited, and actually we all have a responsibility to have that knowledge and understanding and to put those measures in place for safeguarding reasons.
I think it's a teacher's job to nurture the whole child. I think whatever stage, whether that's primary, whether that is secondary, I think it's all our responsibilities. I think teachers in schools have a role to play. When I come from Birmingham, obviously we've had the issues with Trojan horse in the past year or so. I think it's all our duty as educators to look out the best interests of the individual students and the communities that we serve.